You never been here before I see, before I leave. There's one thing you know about Majesty. There's no fancy or make believe, but me and my niggas been royalties and pull up in a row of sheets. You know what I'm saying? That's like, I just remember when I was
Right now I have brand new music for you from a Nigerian American rapper. He goes by the name P.Nigma. His bouncy, easygoing melodic flow creates a whole new flavorful taste in this new era of hip-hop. The name of this artist is P.Nigma, and it features Marz Bodega. Here they are.
Marz Bodega, P.Nigma. Back into it, N.Cast. You already know what it is. First off, happy belated. You know what I'm saying? Happy belated birthday. How was it?
Man, you know, I spent it with the family. You know, me and my son got the same birthday, so you know, it really not my birthday no more.
That's why I said belated. That's why I said belated. I definitely said
that's a present for life. So, you know what I mean? Just being able to spend time with him, that was real dope. You know what I mean? It's, you know, once you hit a certain age, birthdays don't really mean that much no more.
I hear you. This is another year of blessing because you made it.
For sure.
Another milestone.
More life.
What you call it? So, tell my podcast audience members who are still listening to N.Cast about yourself, Marz.
My name is Marz Bodega. You know what I'm saying? I am a independent artist / entrepreneur, rapreneur, business coach, mindset coach, whatever. You know
Renaissance man.
I wear a lot of different tags. You know what I mean? But more so importantly, you know, I'm a creator. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a creative. You know what I mean? I enjoy, you know, telling stories using, you know, my my gifts to, you know, create compelling, you know, content, stories, music, all that. You know what I mean?
Okay. I feel that, like, that's what I've been doing since, like, 2019. I established N.Cast Pass, got it under a business, started with a store, didn't work out. Boom, I was like, all right, why it didn't work out? I found the problem. Problem was I didn't know how to market. I didn't know how to market. My foundation was already not good, but I didn't know how to market. So I was like, okay, I had to understand personal branding.
Right.
So 2019, mind you. But then we got to 2020, which was a curse and a blessing, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously, the curse is COVID, but the blessing is it took me, I had the time to, like, actually study what I want to do with my brand.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you were saying you were like a business coach. I know branding is very important for, like, most artists or entrepreneurs in general, especially in the digital age where you got to be seen on social media.
Definitely.
It doesn't matter whether it's LinkedIn or TikTok. Like, you got to be seen on some type of social media platform.
Everywhere.
Exactly.
You can help it everywhere. And, you know, just to, like, chime in, you know, you mentioned the pandemic. For me, that's kind of where, you know, I also had, like, you know, my epiphany that, you know, I had been going about the whole music thing wrong. You know what I'm saying? I've been making music for 14 years, nigga. Shit, when we was in high school, nigga. I was,
you know what I'm saying? I remember we was in math class. You was like, bro, I worked on this song last night. I'm like, bro, we in 10th grade, you making songs. Like, I used to write, but I never used to make music. That's the thing. Like that, my undergrad was in mass communications.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I've always been interested in, like, writing and stuff. But, like, music, when you were telling me that in 10th grade, I'm like, damn, like, you really making music like that?
Yeah, technically, I wrote my first song when I was in 8th grade, you know what I'm saying? And that's when, not just me, but, like, my folks realized, like, damn, like, he can actually do this shit, you know what I'm saying? And, of course, you know, high school, you know what I mean? We had the whole football thing going on, so I wasn't taking music as serious. It wasn't really until, like, 11th, 12th grade where I really was just, like, full of music, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, like, marketing and branding, during the pandemic, I had the opportunity of getting invited to Clubhouse, the app. And at first, I didn't know shit about the app, you know what I'm saying? The only thing I knew is that, like, I just kept seeing people talk about it, you know what I'm saying? I'm always got my ear to the ground, you know what I'm saying, on the digital networks, just to see, you know what I'm saying, what new things are popping up. Yeah. So a friend of mine was already on it, shout out Sweets, you know, You know what I mean? That's my man. She be holding it down.
Nice.
She was already on the platform, and you know, she sent me the invite. At the time, Clubhouse was only it was an invite only for iPhones. It was in beta phase.
Okay.
So like a lot of like the features that's on it now wasn't even there. Like the only thing you can do was, you know, create a room, go into a room.
You had to get invited to it.
You had to get invited to just use to create a profile on the app, and you had to have an iPhone. So if you had an Android, it was quiet. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I get on the app, and like, you know, as I'm like getting the feel for like the landscape of the app, you know what I mean? Like one of the first rooms I got into was called what was it? I think it was called.
Was it like a music room, hip hop room? 'Cause I know go by categories.
It was like a culture room.
Okay.
And I think it was called Industry Connect or something like that.
Like a networking type room.
Networking. I mean, it was all of that. And you know what I'm saying? And at the time, it grew to be like the biggest room on the platform.
Right,
and it actually attracted a lot of like celebrities, A-list celebrities, B-list celebrities of all kinds, you know, of a lot of industries onto the app. Now, the way the Clubhouse app worked was, you know, it's an audio only app. You know what I'm saying? So you could talk to people on real time, like you was on the phone through the app. You know what I'm saying? But because of the pandemic and everything shut down, people can't go out. People were scrambling to find ways to make money. So people resorted to online. So a lot of celebrities was, gravitated towards Clubhouse.
I remember that.
And that shit was like the craziest shit ever, man. Like, when I tell you, like, I seen people get signed to Rock Nation at a fucking 11 p.m. on a Sunday night, bro, just from playing a song just playing a song through, like, in the app, like, in a room, bro, like, all of that shit, you know what I'm saying? I've had the opportunity, of being on stage with like people like T-Boz, fucking Fat Joe, Warren G, like
right.
Boosie, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Now the biggest part, the biggest takeaway from all that I got was, how to put yourself out there, how to market, you know what I'm saying? And the number one thing that I learned was that this music shit, as much as we love it, as much as we love to do it, as fun as it is, and it don't feel like a job, this shit is a business. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I learned that, I had been going about everything wrong, because a lot of, especially here in the DMV, a lot of niggas think that, if you just keep making music and putting it out, if you got the dope music, somebody will hear it, somebody will pick it up, man, and put you on or get signed and shit. Which it's always a possibility, anything's possible, but it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta network. You gotta open your mouth. You gotta go actually email the people. Actually got a list of people like you want to connect with. Ask them if they want to collab. I definitely get what you're saying, but I want to go back to Clubhouse real quick, because how I found about Clubhouse, what you mentioned earlier, is like you had to get invited in. Yeah. So shout out Swag Dog. I love you. So when she invited me into Clubhouse, I had no idea about it. I just knew it was loud and people, or like you said, it was audio only, so people were just talking. Yeah. So most times you just say one mic, because if everybody's talking, you can't hear nothing but just noise, right?
Facts.
So
get your ass booted out the room too.
I couldn't like connect to it at first, cause I'm like, bro, like I don't know what's going on. And then when I started seeing that they break it down by categories, that's when I realized, it's like you trying to put same mind people without even like putting like a screen to them, like just only a voice to them in the same room. Mm-hmm. And now it's like, all right, that's kind of a tough concept, especially during the pandemic, because in the pandemic nobody was going out, everybody was bored in the house. They were just like, there was nothing to do. Like, I don't even know if we still in the pandemic, because like people still talk about COVID, but nobody really cares about COVID.
In the pandemic
nobody
forever.
Cares a fuck about COVID right now. Nobody cares right now.
Pandemic forever.
Right, we're gonna be a pandemic forever. I'm just gonna take my chances. That's what everybody on right now.
Shit, man, life go on.
Exactly. But yeah, so when you talking about Clubhouse, I'm like, all right, yeah, that was great. But then I tuned out of it, going to different ventures, because like people were blowing up with like TikTok and other stuff as well. Yeah. And then that's why I heard Clubhouse was dying down, because it started becoming more drama. on it.
Well, I think what happened was when it fully opened up to the public, like, and more Android people could get on it, then, you know what I'm saying, you got to deal with trolls and shit. And like
that
the things
tribal.
and the things that actually made Clubhouse special, like the exclusivity of it, you know what I'm saying, it kind of went away because once things opened up, also that played a factor in it. Once, like, a lot of people were on Clubhouse for the simple fact we was quarantined. We couldn't go nowhere.
Right.
Like, nigga, they was having Wild 'N Out shows on fucking Clubhouse, bro. Like, nigga, I was in Wild 'N Out. Shout out Justine, like, you feel me? Like,
wait,
Clubhouse edition. Yeah.
Okay.
But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, bro, that shit was special, bro. It was special because it gave people, like, regular people, you know what I'm saying, like us, an opportunity to connect with people where we wanted to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, I had I was able to network and had a conversation with fucking what's that nigga name, bro? That do the beats from Atlanta and shit.
Oh, you got Metro Boomin.
Nah, not Metro. He did a lot of beats for like Gucci and shit.
Lex Luger?
Nah,
not Lex Luger.
Nah, that's old school.
Yeah. I mean, you said Gucci, man. So I'm thinking,
bro, you know what I'm talking about. His name always slipped my fucking mind, bro. But anyways, so like I was able to actually, at least establish some type of just connection with people that was actively within the industry, and they was giving, and you want to talk about free game, like niggas was giving out free game, like it was
good
candy,
and bad,
you know what I'm saying, like good and bad, like, you know what I'm saying. It was just a blessing, bro. It was just a blessing. Like, I know. Like, I was talking about the Industry Connect room shit. Like, bro, that shit used to have, like, well over 500-800 people in the junk. And niggas would literally be on that shit all day long waiting for their chance to come up on stage to pitch themselves or pitch their music,
it sound like
or whatever.
Audition.
Bruh, like, nigga, it was more than that. It was more than that, because it was people connecting, putting their, you know what I'm saying, putting their connecting dots together, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was more than that. Like, that's why I called it a culture room. Eventually, you know what I'm saying, like, me personally, after, I spent enough time, like, in like the Industry Connect room and shit like that. Eventually, I started venturing out and making my own connections and moderating my own like rooms and shit, and I was even able to build a little small following off of that jump. And it was huge for me. It was definitely huge for me.
That would help you get out to LA?
Nah, that's not what helped me. That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. It didn't help me get out to LA, but that was pretty much the foundation of my embarkment on like learning like how to market myself, you know what I mean, like what it actually means to be in the music industry, the business side of it.
So you kind of like learning like a student of the game type thing through Clubhouse a little bit, because that was my initiation. That was my initiation. Right. You got to be exposed to like some industry people, how they think at least. Like,
for sure.
Right, because you can't fake it through like an audience, people like that. You could, but it's like you gonna be in conversation so many times. Yeah, you gonna have to slip up some type of game, so it don't matter. So it's like that's a good opportunity for a lot of people who are in the consecrating music artistry business. Like that's why I did like Clubhouse. I just didn't like how it died down. It just seemed like a gimmick how it died down. I
think you got on it like towards like when
I got on around this time 2020, like April-ish. April
in 2020 or 2021?
Sorry. It might have been 2021.
That was when things were opening back up. So it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same on there at all. But shit, like, man, I know a lot of people who pretty much skyrocketed. Used that momentum from Clubhouse to skyrocket their branding. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know more than Twitter. A couple of people. Shit, my man Nova came, bro. Like, my man Nova came when he was on that jump. He was literally, you know what I'm saying? He was on his TikTok shit, and he was already like booming on TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Shit, he just signed a fucking deal. Like, he just signed a record deal. You know know what I'm saying? Because I think he got like well over 1 million followers on TikTok now. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he pretty much used that shit to brand himself. You know what I mean?
You just made me think of it. So since you just mentioned deal, and you're talking about being music coach, business coach, how do you feel about label deals and like 360 option deals or being squeezed out? Because I have my own opinion, but I want to hear your side first. I don't know if I mentioned on my podcast yet, but because this is your expertise with the business side of the music. What's your take on it? Because you just mentioned one of an artist who just got a record deal.
I think it gotta make sense for you. Now, when I say that, I mean, it really depends on one, your branding, your marketing, and just like overall what you actually want to achieve. See, 360 deals. A lot of people are signing 360 deals now because a lot of people don't really understand what 360 deals are, and it's not saying that they can't be a good thing, because in terms of exposure and branding, it definitely can help you. But if you don't have a good business sense or a good business model for your branding, then like we see unfortunately with a lot of these artists who get the 360 deals, they get that money and they think it's free bands. It's free bands. But a lot of people don't understand, like, bro, these label deals, they pretty much advancement on loans. Yeah. That you got to pay back with interest. So if you sign a 360 deal for 100,000, 200,000 or something like that, you be lucky if you get anything north of 500,000. Shit, if you get 500,000, you blessed. I know a lot of artists who signing like $100,000 deals, which is cool. But that's your budget. You feel me? That's your budget.
You need $100K just to market your music well.
I mean,
it
depends.
I'm saying that if you are in a contract deal, that's 360 deals, like five years, and they're expecting you to be at least like top 100 artists. That's already hard in itself. If you understand how many people are uploading and they got you that type of deal, $100K starting off just as advancement is nothing. Because like if you're a top 100, even 150, top 100, bruh, their marketing budget would be blown away for something like that. But if it's a rising artist, honestly, if it's a rising artist and want that person to stay local, that'd probably be too much. If they want that person to stay local, that'd be too much. So it depends on how you look at it.
I think it can be done, but again, it goes back to your business plan, and your budgeting,
right. And what you get, what you want, what direction you go.
What we see with a lot of artists is they get these deals and they blow the fucking money. And what they don't realize is, bro, that money gotta pay for, if you talking like, clothes, getting flying, shit like that, like, all right, that's an investment, you need that too.
That can be written
However,
off,
you can't forget, you gotta pay for your studio time. You gotta pay for your video production. You gotta pay for your marketing. And
but that's why they need to get lawyers too.
I'm throwing out broad. But I'm saying
that's why they gotta get lawyers too.
Oh yeah, you gotta get lawyers.
Cause like you gotta put that in the contract.
Like you got like all of that shit, bro. And if you, or like what we seen with a lot of artists, you get that money and you blow it. You label might throw you some more money, but it ain't free bands, you know what I'm saying?
There's gonna be interest behind that.
What happens with a lot of artists, like we see, they get that money, they blow it. They don't got the money to market themselves no more. You know what I'm saying? Label one day, rent due, on that advancement, right. And you not hitting your quota or whatever is in your contract, nigga. Artists getting shelved, and then guess what? They own your fucking They own your royalties or your rights and shit. So
you're not making money.
You're not making no money, especially in 360 deals, because anything that's attached to your name, you talk like that's what 360 deals about. It's a pie. So your music, your merchandise, you know what I'm saying?
They get a dip
whatever
and
endorsements, like they get a pot, they get a piece of all of that shit to make up the deal. So people niggas is blowing that money and they not seeing no return on that investment. Shit, you know what I mean? That pretty much be it. And that's why so many artists get, you know, stuck in deals and then disappear, or they get deals and then they fall off and people like, damn, what happened to them? Why they not releasing no music? It's not that they not making music, it's that they can't put shit out. You know what I'm saying?
Here's my thing about it, right? Labels also sign many artists a year.
Yeah, for sure. That's why 360 deals get handed out like candy nowadays.
It's just, but like they reconstructed it because people are already hip to it. So like that's why I say like it's about business sense, not even just music, just business sense. How is the contract written up? How is that shit organized? Because in the contract, that's why you need your lawyer to break it down so you can understand and what you want to put in the contract, whether it's for a franchise or for a record deal. It doesn't matter. Like in that contract, what are you both agreeing on? Or what are they offering? You know what I'm saying? I think so like for these artists, I feel bad they get locked up in that, but at the same time, that's just them being incompetent. You know what I'm saying? They signing
ignorance.
Yeah, it's straight up ignorance, right? Like they just signing something because they seen a bunch of numbers.
I mean, you gotta understand though, bro.
They come from nothing. Yeah, they never got it before. I understood.
It's happened to the best of artists. You know what I'm saying?
But they got
like,
YouTube
shit.
now, so that's why it's like it's hard to understand. But there's kids that are younger than us and making millions, and they learn that from YouTube. So it's like when is it gonna be a point where it's like, damn, you understand? But I do feel bad for artists like that.
But just like me, or just like us, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a lot of the shit that I've been learning about the music industry, at least the business side of it, you know, it's only been 2 years since I really started learning about it. So it's still a lot that I'm still learning, you know what I mean? But I've been making music for 14 years I never had that shit, you know, like I never got no gist of it or none of that, you know what I'm saying?
But you did it for the passion, like the passion.
I made music because I love to make music. What I'm saying is, out of all the 14 years that I've been making music, it wasn't until 2 years ago that I realized, or that somebody told me like, yo, this shit is a business. You got to go about it like this. Go about it like this. That's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
it's not no shit. You feel me? Like it's not shit that is just like common knowledge. It's just like credit. Like credit is fucking. You know, it's not that credit is complex or that only certain people can do it. It's just that people don't learn about it growing up. Like especially our people, we don't. It's not generational knowledge. So it's very easy for us to make the mistakes that fuck up our credit and then put us in holes, you know what I'm saying? Opposed to people who already know about it and they pass that knowledge down. So Clubhouse for me was that bridge.
Before you go to Clubhouse, just because you hit that point on credit, literally I just rather hit that point on credit. The credit thing, the problem is a lot of us screw it up in the beginning because a lot of times you give you bonuses up front when you get credit and stuff like that because we didn't have financial literacy, because you could add a lot more to that credit line from that bonus. But we just didn't know about it. We just saw the little free money you get first. This is just an example.
You talking about contracts?
Like, no, I'm talking about like with credit cards. Like when you open a credit card, you know what I'm saying? You get a little bit of credit, they give you bonuses. You spend it, but you don't know how to pay that money back in advance, and you spend over 30%. Yeah. Don't quote me on this. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. But that literally like screws you up. That literally screws. I'm gonna put it in the screen. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? That literally screws you up. And then like then they do that at a young age, like maybe 19, 21, and then they get to like our age or maybe like 35. That's pretty late. 40. And then like, damn, we gotta start cleaning up my credit. By then it's like, damn, bro. Like,
oh shit, man. I mean, bro, like I said, it's not generational knowledge. So like, you know, it's not like my parents told me about credit, and I know it's the same for a lot of, you know what I mean.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what urban, YouTube.
Like black youth, you know, urban black youth. Like it's not generational knowledge, bro. And like that's why as a culture, like that's something that we gotta start giving to our people. Like we gotta start teaching our people as we learn. And that's why I think I rebranded my whole shit, like as far as my music, cause it's like, yo, I love music. I've been making music. I can do music. It's easy as fuck to me. You know what I'm saying? Right. But what value are people actually getting from my fucking music? You know what I'm saying? Other than dope music, everybody make dope music.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, I had to really think like, yo, like, what value can I give my people or just people in general? And that's when I realized, like, yo, everything that I done learned about this marketing shit, how to market myself as an independent artist and shit, like, I can get that back to people. I can teach people, because, like, bro, look, like, where we at? We in the DMV, bro. Like, the DMV it's just as many talented artists here than it is in fucking LA or Atlanta or New York. Yeah. Like, bro, like, we got some dope ass artists here. But the problem about the DMV is it's a lot of the same. All right, so we talking about business sense. A lot of niggas out here don't have that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck no, not in terms of the music industry.
Oh, music, okay, maybe, I don't know.
They don't, bro.
Because the music industry the same shit. No, I'm not disagreeing. What I'm saying is the music industry has expanded because you have so many independent artists now.
Oh yeah,
so that's why you're saying, like, because the independent artists, they don't know how businesses or how, like, other label companies or venues handle independent artists. Say they want to tour, maybe they want to get connected with producers or want to open their business under LLC as an artist. They wouldn't know about that. Is that what you're basically trying to say, pretty much?
I mean, I'm not, talking about. I'm not talking about everybody, obviously. Right, majority of artists out here, and I know because I was one of them, bro. And I see it every day. And then on top of that, a lot of niggas out here got the crab in the barrel mindset where they want to make it before the next nigga, or they feel like they shit better than the next nigga. So they, you know what I'm saying? And that's why. I agree. That's why you can count on one hand how many actually artists successfully make. Now, if you want to talk in terms of record deals, you can definitely count on one hand how many artists made it major from the DMV. Now, shit, there's artists like Light Show. Nigga, Light Show don't got no fucking record deal, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, and that's because Light Show, he has that business sense. You know what I'm saying? He learned how to market himself. He built the market for himself, a fan base. Yeah, he did. You know what I'm saying? And he learned how to continue to grow that shit. Yeah, so what the fuck do he need a label for when he can make all of his fucking money, you know what I'm saying, by himself and keep that shit? Like, you feel me? Like, so, like, that's why I say it depends, bro. Like, it literally depends on what your goals are, what your mindset is, and what you trying to achieve. You know what I mean? Like, I would never tell nobody not to take no record deal. Like, bro, if you get signed to a record deal, that's beautiful. Just make sure you do your due diligence. Like,
yes,
just make sure you do your due diligence. Like, don't get fucked over. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of artists that we could talk about that done got fucked over. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna put nobody. We're not gonna put nobody on the spot or nothing like that. But, like, the shit happens, bro. Like, and it is you talking about ignorance. Like, it's irresponsible to not do your due diligence. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit, nigga, bro, follow history, bro. Like, if you don't, even if you too lazy to do it, like, to do your due diligence in terms of, like, research and shit, like, look at fucking history, bro, because this didn't happen to the best of artists. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know y'all niggas didn't watch, you know what I'm saying, Straight Outta Compton. I know y'all niggas know about TLC, bro. Like TLC at the peak of their career was broke as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Shit, one of the best, the most selling albums of all time. Fucking The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, she barely saw a penny of anything from that shit because of these, you know what I'm saying? Like, people get locked into, like, contracts that they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, bro, do your due diligence. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not about, talking down on nobody or. I'm not even
gonna hold it on the due diligence because you're right about that. But it's also like, do you even feel comfortable about the business that you're trying to, like, connect with? You like, if you're gonna get a contract with that business, do you feel like they're actually gonna help you, like, grow as a brand? Like, there's a lot to consider than just the contract and the money. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you really think that they're going to help you as a brand get to the next level? Because, again, the contract should only be, like, what, maybe under 5 years? Don't take my advice. I'm just assuming it should be under 5 years, right? Yeah. Max. So, like, you obviously want to grow and then go to the next level. Whatever you're doing that has to do with a contract, because as an artist, you're going to be basically an independent contractor. Like, because you're your own business, you're your own brand. So it's just like, bro, like, are they gonna help you? Because you're just basically connecting businesses and trying to grow numbers, not just on paper, but like actually grow as a brand together.
My advice would be, because this is, every artist has to do this, period. You know what I'm saying? Is, I keep saying business plan, you know what I mean? A lot of, and the reason why I keep saying that is because as an independent artist, you are your brand. Your brand is your business. You feel me? And in order for you to scale your brand, you gotta have a business model. You gotta know your niche. You gotta know, or your market, target audience. You gotta know these things, because you gotta know how to continuously to build. Because like, one thing about a brand is, it's what makes you unique. It's a million artists out here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody make dope music, and even if somebody listen to your music one time, what's gonna get them to look for you again when you drop your next single or your next fucking album? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you build a fan base, a loyal. You know what I'm saying? You get that connection with people where they look for your brand, they look for your music. If you dropping merchandise, they buying your merchandise just because, like, that's what Fenty is. You know what I'm saying? Like, people love Rihanna, so that Fenty, like, they love that too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, they love that
conglomerate.
too.
It goes to a brand.
And that's what it's all about. And that's
what
it's all about. So you definitely, the number one thing you got to do is definitely really figure out who you are, like who you trying to reach. You know what I'm saying? And once you figure out who you trying to reach, you gotta like really think like, okay, why would these people like my brand, or why would these people fuck with me? You know what I'm saying? Like those are the things you gotta figure out first before anything. Once you get that foundation down, then the sky's the fucking limit. You know what I'm saying? Because then it's just like, it's just filling in the puzzle piece. You already got the foundation. You already got the outer parts of it. Now you just gotta fill it in. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying it in a more simplistic way, but like, it is tough. Like, it's a grind.
It takes work.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it definitely takes work.
Ain't nothing worth having, comes easy. Like, right. You feel me? Like,
but everybody will continue doing it as a business.
It's a fact.
Yeah, so that's why people do music as a hobby as well, because they know how much work it takes. So like, if you really want to make money off of business or off of music, especially, it should be under a business. That's just, I guess, like your entire advice for as a business coach, right?
Yeah, so I can't help it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I'm passionate about this. You know what I mean? Just because I'm passionate. One, it's two things I'm passionate about: music and helping other people. You know what I'm saying? That's why. I think you mentioned that you had a book. You was working on a book. Yeah. I'm actually working on a series of ebooks. In terms of how to market yourself, and then also I'm working on one how to just build credit and invest and shit like that.
The only reason why I ain't mentioned the book yet is because I'm still I'm on my third, fourth chapter, and I don't want to I have the title and everything, I already have the cover, but I want to present it, you know what I'm saying, when it's done. And I'm putting it through 2 different editors as well. Because it's my memoir, so I'm glad we're talking about it here, but I'm not promoting it yet because that's the reason why, and also because
progress.
Progress.
Yeah, same here, man. Shit, man, like I said, I'm passionate about this shit. I'm passionate about helping people. Yeah. That was the whole reason why I agreed to, get on the song with you.
Perfect segue, ladies and gentlemen. Perfect segue into Majesty. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go. Let's go. But what you saying?
P.Nigma featuring Marz Bodega. We got a new track, Majesty. Oh man, it's a dope.
How'd you feel about the process? It was a little bit of a process. It took us almost the entire month to get it through.
You think so?
I think we met up maybe the second week of.
Nah, it didn't take a month, bro. That shit.
Because we met at the beginning of February and we finished it the last week. I got it out at the last week of February because February's a short month too.
I thought we had it done before then, but it took a while before the release and shit. But the process, bro. To me, when I say that shit is like water. I've been doing this shit so long. Even when we went to the studio, man.
Vince studio,
even when I went back and I was doing my own little single and shit. And I told him, he was like, so you gonna record the song and you gonna need me to mix and master? I was like, yeah. He was like, don't you think you need more time? I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah.
One thing we don't have is time.
Bro, I went in that jump. It was a brief 2-hour session, you know what I'm saying? Went in that jump, laid the 2 songs down. He had an hour to mix both of them jumps. And like, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I told him, he was like, damn. He was like, you really do like move fast. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, I've been doing this shit so long. So like the process for Majesty, I don't think it was anything new. Like, honestly, to me, at least from my like perspective, things kind of like, you know what I'm saying, went pretty quickly with that joint. Like once we got in the studio, laid that shit down, you know what I'm saying, then it was just like, yeah.
I feel like the only reason why I feel like it could have been faster is because like we had more minds in the room and we were trying to like organize and make it more efficient. So in my head, I feel like we could have been more efficient, but I feel like because you with Vince and just you and Vince, it's just back and forth. So it's like in and out. But then like we got more people in the room. It's just like, damn, like it's a lot going on, but we're working on it together. And it's like, it was like moving smoothly because we had Rip there too. Rip on the camera. So he was trying to set up properly to get good footage on us.
Yeah,
so,
no, I mean, I feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying.
No, I mean, I liked it. I liked that entire process.
No, it was cool.
Yeah. But what's your favorite bar from your parts on the Majesty? Like I remember my drug like what was it? You never been here before I see, before I leave. There's one thing you know about Majesty. There's no fancy or make believe, but me and my niggas been royalties and pull up in a rover sheets. You know what I'm saying? That's like I just remember when I was saying those bars, I was like, yo, I want to make that shit real in my life. Like, I want me and my niggas pull up in the roadways and we both say, yeah, cheese, nigga. Like, this is what we doing. Like, that's what I loved about that part when I dropped those lines. Because I remember, like, writing it and I was just like, bruh, I feel like I made this up a long time ago. Like, you ever felt like you wrote something, you like, I made it up a long time ago and it just came out, like, your mouth before? Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like, I've done that with podcasts, too. But, like, bro, I feel like I've said this before. But I didn't. I go back on my old podcast and be like, bro, I've never said
you
this.
talking about like on my... Oh, nah, I know what you mean. Like when you write a lyric.
Yeah, you say something out loud. It's like a deja vu type thing.
Nah, yeah. I mean, yeah and no. At least for me. Because like, you know what I'm saying? I've been doing this shit for so long. But like, so sometimes I do like feel like I might have said something before and shit. Sometimes I do recycle some of my own lines. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's my shit. I can do that. You feel me? Okay.
Nah, I feel it. But not every new idea is gonna be great. So.
You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, bro. Like, I don't know. Like, shit. It's part of the way I look at it. It's part of who I am. You feel me? Like, somebody hit that bar, they gonna attach that to me. You know what I'm saying? Shit. There's been a few times where like I didn't wrote bars, you know, and without hearing somebody else's song, and then they had a similar or the same bar in their jump. And they be like, damn. I'd be like, but I mean, shit, I know that they ain't still my shit, so I don't feel no type of way about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that shit happens. I mean, my favorite bar in the jump, in the song, I think it was when we were like towards the end, like we was going back and forth. Yeah. And he was like charged back on royalties. Yeah. And I was like, keep a couple bands stack for loyal fees. Nigga shake pussy like ovaries. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the Jodeci line is really what rocked it.
The Jodeci line like Jodeci. Yeah. That was my favorite. You know what I'm saying? Just how, and then not necessarily as so much what I was saying, but just like the flow of the song and like how I was saying it. Like that shit hit right. You know what I'm saying? That shit hit right. So I like how we did that right there. That was dope.
Yeah, like I definitely, because when we originally came up with that part, I'm glad you took off, because I was like, bro, because I got to that royalty line, I'm like, bro, if I continue, it's just taking up more space. And that's why I asked you, I'm like, bro, you might as well just like finish this joint off. I was like, you want one more line? Like, you might as well finish this joint off.
So, you know, we was writing the joint, and I was like, nah, bro. I was like, I got this shit, I got it. And then as soon as I hit those 2 lines, you was like, all right, yeah, you got this shit. Like, bro, like that music, like writing music to me, bro, like that shit is like honestly, I'm probably my most happiest like when I'm actually like sitting down you know what I'm saying, like with them, like my own, like, you know, little space or whatever, and I'm writing music and I'm just locked in writing, like, cause shit, sometimes I be surprising myself by the shit I write, like, you feel me, and like those the best moments to me, like, and you know what's crazy is people don't see those moments, you know what I'm saying, like, and I know some people who get into the studio and they hear a beat, they start writing to the jump, and like, you know, I do that sometimes, but shit, like, I write my best shit when I'm by myself, you feel me? You know what I mean? Like, I don't like being rushed on the shit that I'm writing. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I like to actually sit and ponder, you know what I'm saying? Think about what the fuck I want to say, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just always how I wrote my best shit, you know? Now, sometimes,
and it's also about your life experience. Like,
for sure.
Like, I remember we were in the studio, you're like, because you were still finishing the last couple bars at the end, and like, you were just talking about, like, yeah, like, I want everything, the rhyme scheme to switch up a little bit. But I also don't want to say, like, no corny shit. And I'm like, that's also subjective, too. No, like you laughing, I'm laughing, too. I was like, yeah, nobody want to say no corny shit. But it's also like, when you said corny shit, I heard something that I would say and I believe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you wouldn't say some shit like you don't actually believe. Like, there's certain people who rap, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see you as that type of person when you said that. So I was just like, yeah, like, he wouldn't say some shit that he wouldn't believe. Like, obviously, we think corny, thinking like, yo, that shit was just cheesy. No, I'm just saying, like, when you said that, I was thinking like, damn, he's really trying to make sure he's saying some shit. It's obviously in line with the music, but it's like some shit that he believes as well.
Nah, facts. Yeah, man, you gotta stay true to yourself, bro. And like that's the biggest thing about my music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, besides the fact that like I didn't develop like so many different like just like styles and shit like that just from over the time of me doing it. You know, just being a lyricist. You know, being able to write different flows. You know, or switch up the flow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit that I've been able to develop over just like the time that I've been writing music. Yeah. So like I really like take pride in that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like the shit that I actually say in music, you know what I mean? Yeah, bro, I just gotta stay true to myself with that, cause like if it's not true to me, then I don't know. I'm just not confident. You know what I'm saying? I'm not confident with it.
Nah, I just respect it. I just remember that moment in the studio is just like you just wanted to make sure like it was like to get, cause like the last like 3 bars or like 4 bars or something like that.
Yeah, that shit, and that shit too.
Yeah, he was just like, I gotta make sure. Like
he was like, bro, just say that. I'm like, nah, bro.
And like you try to pull it in, and I told you, I was like, bro, like you sure you want to do this? You're like, nah, I ain't doing it. We gonna switch it up. I was like, all right, bet.
I switched that shit up like 3-4 times. Yeah. I was like,
nah, but I mean, I think we've been on for like at least like an hour, 40 minutes, couple. I mean, I was really going to ask what you plan on doing next. Like, I know you got, first off, you got Gutter Baby, right? I don't know if you wanted to promote that real quick. You might as well. We already on the topic.
Man, my next single, Gutter Baby. Right. Soon, you know what I'm saying? And I'm really excited to get this on to you. Shit, I was actually just out of Atlanta, and, you know, I performed it. You know what I mean? It was my first time performing out of Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? Right. It actually had, you know, people going crazy, you know, rocking with it, you feel me? Right. But it's a dope-ass song, you know what I mean? It's a dope-ass song. I fuck with it. So I definitely can't wait to get the single out. You know what I mean? Got some, you know, got some shit like, you know, in the works with it though. You know what I'm saying? We definitely gonna shoot a, you know, music video and shit like that.
And you definitely gonna follow up on that, cause after this we definitely gonna show some links, cause you gotta retrack and all that. But other than Gutter Baby, you had that single. You gonna work with other artists? I'm actually, I was thinking about that before even doing this podcast. Like, you got other artists you got to work with? I don't know if you got a contract with them, but I was just curious.
Nah, I'm always open to working with artists, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, when I was younger, you know, I really didn't do, like, a lot of features, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could probably count on one hand how many features I actually did. But, you know, like, free game, one of the best ways to, you know, grow like organically is like through collaborating. So I definitely just been, you know, looking for artists to, you know, network with and, you know,
only because I gotta say it, you a chump if you are a verified creator or you have a lot of like over 100K and like you just exposing people who are really good artists and you know they're good, they might even be better than you, and this is why you're doing it. and you scamming them. Like, people are already hip to that. I'm gonna say that on my podcast. Like, you're foul, you disgusting, you scum of the earth, you ain't shit. Like, dead ass. Like, there's people that work too hard. You know what I'm saying? You just said it earlier. There people got 100 record singles and don't get any play. And some out of 100, some of them joints are probably gonna be good. Like, at least one of them.
Unfortunately, that just
that's just the way it works. So like, when you do that, I just gotta call that shit out. Like, I know it's business. I know that it's dumb on their part for believing you. But at the same time, I'm calling that shit out and some integrity type shit.
I won't even say that. Like, shit, I didn't got scammed a few times.
Yeah, that's why I'm calling it out.
You know what I'm saying? But don't. What I will say is, like, don't let that shit discourage you.
No, definitely not.
Don't let
that's
that
just part of the game.
You. Keep your mind right. You know what I'm saying? Stay positive and stay focused on like your goals and your direction. Cause you know what I'm saying, shit going. You know, it's life. Shit going happen. Fucked up. You know,
roll of
shit happens. You know what I'm saying? But just take that shit on the chin and keep it moving. Don't let that shit sway you. Don't let that shit discourage you. It's gonna be people who project their insecurities or their failures onto you, you know what I'm saying, tell you that you shouldn't do something or they don't think you should do this. And that's not because you can't do it, it's because they couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? So stay focused, stay in your lane, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what that means, stay in your lane. That means literally have tunnel vision, you know what I'm saying, on your goals, your aspirations. Like, bro, don't ever let somebody alter your hustle, like your grind. Don't let nobody do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
just the way it goes.
That's the biggest free game I could drop on anybody. You know what I'm saying right now. You know what I mean? Because confidence and positivity is everything. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta stay focused and keep a positive mindset, bro. And I'm telling you, you'll surprise yourself. You'll surprise yourself for sure.
I like that. All right, so we're gonna close it out. What I like to do on the podcast usually is I like to do like any like closing statements or like anything you want to give away to audience member, and then also giving your social plugs. And I'll like do the stuff towards the end and all that.
Yeah, matter of fact, I'm glad he just reminded me, cause so everything that I've been, like I talked about, I was rebranding myself and stuff like that, and I really was trying to create just like just trying to help like other independent artists and shit like that. I actually have like my own website where it's it's a community-based website. It's called Marz Bodega Academy. You know what I mean? And you can, right now it's free to join because I'm opening it up, you know what I mean, to independent artists. But it's literally a community based platform where not only can you create your own profile and post your own like content or just unique things about yourself and network, but I'm also opening up a course on there too for independent artists who, was just, if they didn't know the things that like some of the things we touched on in it, on this podcast and stuff like that, it'll be on that course for sure. You can learn about, royalties, how to, make sure that you set to generate and collect your royalties, because it's a lot of artists out here who missing out on money just because they don't understand or know the business side of it. So for sure, I definitely encourage y'all to tap in with me, create your profile and shit like that. Get on there, because even if you or well into your music journey, saying, like I say, I made music for 14 years. It wasn't until 2 years ago where I actually started learning the business side of music. If you're not making money from your music, then it's just a hobby. And I know a lot of us, our goals and our aspiration is to get paid,
For doing what you love.
For doing what we love, yeah. So, if you're trying to learn how to monetize yourself, your image, your brand, and all that shit, definitely, Marz Bodega Academy is where you're going to want to be.
Also tell them your IG and Twitter, wherever else you want them to follow you in your music as well.
So yeah, because of the rebrand, you know what I'm saying, I completely created a whole new Instagram, you know what I'm saying, and it's predicated towards just, you know, connecting with, you know, independent artists, you know, producers, beat makers, anybody who is within the music industry, you know what I'm saying, just to build that community. But you can follow me on Instagram at Bodega CEO _.
Tough. Yeah, man. I definitely enjoyed this podcast. You know what I'm saying? I think before the podcast, I was telling you, like, I've always, like, written, like, just written in general. One, because I'm dyslexic, so I always had to practice on writing and reading and stuff like that. And two, I got my undergrad in mass communications. So it's like, I've always had to, like, be in the realms of, like, books and, like, reading and stuff, whether I liked it or not. I had to force myself.
Right.
And then, like, one way of helping me understand English language and reading and writing is hip hop and like writing bars. That's the only way like it made me more interested. But like I never like when you told me in 10th grade in I think it was like geometry or something like class. I forgot what class it was. I did some math class, but he was like, "Yeah, I've been rapping." I was like, "Nigga, you like." You're younger than me at the time. I'm like 15 years old. I'm like, what are you doing rapping? Like, don't you want to play football or some shit? Because we were all like football time. Like, yeah, we want to play football or something.
Football was my shit, but music's when football faded away, like music took up that mantle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so that I remember that, and then just people from around our way. They've always been in music. Even went to school, still went to music and all that stuff. So I didn't start making music. I think my first single was 2020. So that's like 2 years ago. Like even me having the courage to do that and do like podcasts and stuff. I was inspired for like people like Marz and people from around my way, just like being yourself and stuff. So like I really appreciate people like you for real.
Nah, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I definitely want to give you your flowers too, because. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I definitely like the brand that you create and have created for yourself so far. You know what I mean? Like, shit, I think when I first reached out to you, I didn't even know that you was making music. This was like 2 years ago.
Yeah. I was like planning stuff. That's what I didn't have a lot of guests on my podcast. Like, I already, because you weren't the only person who reached out to me at the time.
Okay.
So, I was like planning stuff accordingly, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it was like good timing too. Like right when I thought about you, it was like great timing and everything. So everything worked out perfectly.
So man, hey, look, everything is divine timing. Slim, stay focused, bruh. Don't ever fucking give up on yourself or your dreams, dog. I'm telling you, long as your mind there, everything else will follow.
Right.
That's 100.
And that's it for the podcast. It's N.Cast Podcast.
Young Nab,
Part of that
baby.
life, take risk and goals. Rather take toll and dip and go. If ain't on water on deck, been through hell, better give respect. Hit the bodega to see what's next. Young Nab, drop some heat, let's flex. All you need to know is N.Cast, baby.